Hi everyone, let's talk about filmmaking. Now I have good news for you, and that is editing ice skating films are pretty much easy, because there are some rules in cinematography that don't apply here. For example, you don't need to set up lighting, there are no conversations, and pretty much for an ice skating movie every angle is okay. So a lot of rules can be skipped here, what normally apply in other films. But there are still some, and I would like to talk about them in the next few minutes. Let's start with the lights. So obviously filming in broad daylight would be the best, but if you don't have a frozen lake nearby or an open rink, then of course you need to film indoors, which can be bad, because noise can appear and flickering can appear. Now what is flickering? Flickering is when the lights are not working on the same hertz, on the same frame rate as you record with the camera. In Europe the standard is 50 Hz, in America it is 60, so set the frame rate in the camera to 25 or 50, or if you're filming in America then 30 or 60. This will eliminate all this flickering you can probably see if you are filming indoors. Another thing is noise. Noise is appearing because the sensor in your camera is too small. Basically what you can do here is you can ask someone to turn on the lights for you, if possible. Second thing you can do is to get a better camera, or a camera with a bigger sensor. For example, DSLRs is pretty much okay. I'm lucky because I like photography anyways, I do it, so I have a full frame sensor in my camera. So low lighting is not a problem for me, but if you're recording with a mobile phone and the noise is appearing in your videos, then just replace the camera, use a better one. Fixing the problems using softwares later is always an option. This is true for noise. You can use denoise softwares or plugins. I use After Effects, try Neat Video under that, but there are other plugins or tools. If you don't like the noise appearing in your footage, then try something. Camera shake. Well, this is an annoying thing. You can learn from my mistakes, what I did back then, editing the first freestyle skating video. Basically, what you can do here is to try to buy some stabilizers. There are cheap ones in the market. There are ones for DSLR cameras and for other camera types as well. Or another option to buy, if you already have maybe a monopod with a GoPro, then you can flip the GoPro upside down, and there's a setting that rotates the image in the GoPro, so the final result will be a normal image. But if you're using your GoPro like this, the weight is under the monopod, so it is just much more stable skating with a rig like this. Of course, software tools are available to fix camera shake. I myself use After Effects, like I said. It has an awesome built-in stabilizer from the newer versions. Just look at the example I played before. This is how it would look like if I fixed the previous shaky footage. Now editing, try to follow the music. So every beat should be a cut or something like that. Beats equals cuts. So if you use faster music, then you need to cut faster. You have to use shorter footages, shorter clips. If you feel you need a cut somewhere, because the music wants that, but you can't do that because the trick is still going on. You have to use some tricks, for example zoom in the picture or crop or just play some effect, I don't know, figure out something. Just two examples here, two bad examples I did before. Rotating the horizon and flipping the image will get the watcher confused. I recently discovered this by viewing some cinematography tutorials about angles and so on. I didn't know that before. Anyway, I just applied these effects. This was better than doing nothing, but if you feel that you need to do something, apply some effect, then just experiment, and you will always feel if it is working on there or not working, or if it will confuse the watcher or if it is okay with your film. Color correction is another thing I can recommend for editing. I saw that it is familiar to most of you guys. I recommend, for an ice skating film, I recommend some cool colors. White, blue, or maybe for an action part, a little bit aggressive, desaturated, grayish looking, like I did before, but it is possible that you need to use a warm look. For example, in my latest movie, I did that. You can do coloring with pretty much every of the available editing softwares. A simple curves adjustment is okay. I'm not covering how to do it. If you don't know what color correction is, then just search for it on YouTube or something like that. Watch another tutorial on the program you use. But always try to catch the feeling you want. Always try to make it happen with the colors. Okay, my final tips. Try to show us the environment you're skating in. It is okay because you need some kind of introduction or maybe an outro as well. But in the middle, in the action part, do not try to use too much landscape or unnecessary things that we don't like to see. This is one tip. Another is to use crops. Just crop the image if it doesn't look too good in that the way you captured it. Use slow motions. These are okay for cutting. I mean, if, like I said before, the music wants a cut and you just need to apply an effect, you can use slow motion as well. And finally, try not to use out of focus images. So you can, I'm sure you can check later if you recorded the footage. If you feel like this is a little bit out of focus, blurrish, or maybe too much motion blur, then try to recapture it until it will be good, because that doesn't look good. Okay, so thanks for watching. I will be back shortly with a tutorial of the best ice skating game in the world. We played a lot before this in Hungary. Make sure to check that out as well. Bye.